Massive, fast-moving visitor to our solar system may have been a probe sent by an advanced alien civilization. Astronomers were excited to discover the interstellar object last year.
There's this guy, Avi Loeb, he's a professor at Harvard, that believes it might be an alien probe.
The data stream from the Pan-STARRS telescope was fed directly into Google's deep learning network. For weeks, it analyzed the bizarre trajectory of the interstellar object Oumuamua. Then, an alert was flagged, not for what the object was, but for what it wasn't doing. It was accelerating without a reason. This single anomaly prompted NASA to run a new, far more powerful simulation on a second, much larger visitor. The results came back, and scientists were stunned. The AI had found a connection so improbable, it pointed to one terrifying conclusion: intelligent design. The cosmic bullseye. For decades, we've been staring out into the cosmos, listening for a signal, a whisper from the great beyond. We were always looking for a sound, a radio wave. We never expected the message to arrive as a 7-mile-wide chunk of rock and ice moving with a purpose that seems to defy all logic. This is the story of 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object to visit our solar system. And it's a story that gets stranger with every new piece of data. Discovered by the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, 3I Atlas immediately stood out. Its sheer size is mind-boggling. To put it in perspective, the famous interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, was about a quarter-mile long. The second one, Borisov, was around half a mile wide. 3I Atlas is a whopping 7 miles across, making it an absolute giant, dwarfing everything that has come before. It's hurtling toward our sun at nearly 130,000 miles per hour. That's fast enough to travel from New York to Los Angeles in just over a minute. It's a speed so immense that our sun's gravity can't possibly capture it. This visitor is just passing through, a tourist on a cosmic road trip. Using NASA's infrared telescope facility, scientists got their first good look at what it's made of. The snapshots revealed it's teeming with water ice, carbon-rich minerals, and silicates. This wasn't just any water, it was chemically pristine. Models suggest this water could have frozen onto the object as far back as 7 billion years ago, long before our own planet even existed. It's literally a piece of another solar system's nursery, a fossil from a time before time. But get this, it's not the object's composition that has scientists losing sleep. It's the path it's taking. This is where things get really weird. The trajectory is unbelievably unusual. It's perfectly aligned with the orbit of the Earth around the Sun, a statistical long shot with a probability of less than 0.2%. But that's not all. As NASA scientists plotted its course, they noticed it was going to make incredibly close passes by several planets. On October 3rd, 2025, it will fly a mere 18 million miles from Mars. Later, on March 16th, 2026, it will pass just 33 million miles above Jupiter's clouds. The chances of all these alignments happening naturally are astronomically low. It's like throwing a dart from Pluto and hitting a bullseye on Earth, then Mars, then Jupiter in a single throw. When the initial calculations seemed too strange to be true, NASA decided to leverage more power. They fed terabytes of tracking data from Atlas into one of Google's most sophisticated artificial intelligence systems, a network so powerful it operates on a near quantum level of complexity. They wanted the AI to run millions of simulations to find a natural origin for this bizarre path. The results that came back are what truly shocked everyone. The Google AI confirmed the odds were even worse than they thought. There was less than a 1 in 20,000 chance for an interstellar object to have a trajectory that so closely hugs the inner planets. It's a flight path that looks less like a random tumble through space and more like a guided tour. Even more unsettling, it's scheduled to reach its closest point to the Sun on October 29th, 2025, when Earth is on the complete opposite side, hiding the object in the Sun's glare and preventing our best telescopes from getting a clear look. It's a coincidence that feels chillingly convenient. The AI didn't just crunch numbers, it flagged an anomaly, a pattern so unlikely it practically screamed design. The question was no longer if the path was strange, but why? Could this truly be a one-in-a-million fluke of gravity? The scout that broke all the rules? To understand the shockwaves 3I Atlas is sending through the scientific community, you have to rewind the clock. The AI's warning about a designed path becomes 10 times more frightening when you realize this isn't the first time we've seen something that shouldn't exist. The detection of Atlas makes our first interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, seem even more alien than it did before. It's because while Atlas seems to be following some of the rules of being a comet, Oumuamua broke every single one of them. Back on October 19th, 2017, astronomers in Hawaii spotted a faint streak of light moving faster than any space rock should. It was officially named Oumuamua, Hawaiian for scout. They only had about 40 days to study it before it vanished forever. And everything they found was bizarre. Based on how its brightness fluctuated wildly every 7.3 hours, scientists concluded it had an extreme shape, at least 10 times longer than it was wide. Imagine something shaped like a cigar, or as some later suggested, a completely flat pancake or saucer, tumbling end over end through space. No known natural process in the universe creates objects like that. It was our first major clue that we were dealing with something completely new. But the biggest shocker, the detail that still keeps astronomers up at night, was yet to come. As it flew past the sun, Oumuamua accelerated. It got a tiny but clearly measurable nudge of extra speed that wasn't caused by gravity. Here's the deal. For comets, this is normal. That push comes from outgassing. When a comet gets close to the sun, its ice turns to gas and shoots out like a rocket jet, pushing it along. But here's the problem. Every telescope that looked at Oumuamua saw a perfectly clean trail. No dust, no gas, no coma, no tail. It was accelerating without any visible means of propulsion. This is the absolute core of the mystery. It was like watching a sailboat move faster and faster on a windless day. It simply makes no sense. Scientists were scrambling for an explanation. Solar radiation pressure, the push from sunlight itself, was far too weak to give it that nudge. Unless the object was incredibly thin and lightweight, like a sheet of paper with a huge surface area and very little mass. That sounds a lot less like a rock and a lot more like a solar sail, a piece of advanced technology designed to ride the stellar winds. NASA even pointed its Spitzer space telescope at the object, hoping to detect a heat signature. It found nothing. Just silence. In fact, Spitzer's data only deepened the mystery, revealing Oumuamua's surface was at least 10 times more reflective than a typical comet, suggesting it could even be made of polished metal. This is what first led Harvard professor Avi Loeb to propose his chilling theory that we had just been passed by an alien artifact. And now, with the arrival of Atlas, Loeb's theory is getting a terrifying second look, a message hidden in plain sight. When something in space doesn't make sense, one name inevitably comes up: Avi Loeb. He's the professor of astrophysics from Harvard who famously suggested that our first interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, might have been an alien spacecraft. He was largely dismissed at the time. But now, with the arrival of 3I Atlas and the AI's shocking analysis of its trajectory, he's back, and his new theory is even more chilling. In a paper co-authored with his colleagues, Loeb lays out a disturbing case. He argues that the object's massive 7-mile-wide frame isn't just a natural feature, it could be camouflage. A body that large could easily conceal sophisticated instruments, a technological core hidden beneath a veneer of rock and ice. Think about it. It's the perfect Trojan horse, appearing as a natural comet while secretly being something far more advanced. Loeb then brings up the dark forest hypothesis. It's a terrifying concept in cosmology that suggests advanced civilizations actively hide from each other out of fear. In a dark forest, every civilization is a silent hunter, and the first rule is to never, ever reveal your position. Why? because you don't know if you'll encounter another hunter who is peaceful or predatory. Announcing your presence is a potential gamble that could end your entire civilization. In this scenario, 3I Atlas wouldn't be a friendly greeting card. It would be a disguised probe, a silent scout sent to passively map our solar system, to eavesdrop on us without ever revealing its true nature. Its behavior fits the profile perfectly. The object's unusually high speed and its nearly retrograde inclination, meaning it's traveling against the general flow of traffic in our solar system, are pointed to as possible engineering choices, not cosmic coincidences. Why travel against the grain unless you have a specific destination in mind? And then there's that improbable planetary grand tour. According to Loeb, the fact that its path swings so close to Mars and Jupiter is a massive red flag. He points out that while the chances are 1 in 20,000 for this to happen randomly, it's a 100% certainty if it was planned. It's the most efficient way to gather data on multiple worlds in a single pass. It's also incredibly suspicious that its closest approach to the Sun will hide it from Earth's view, a deliberate maneuver to shield the object and any smaller devices it might deploy from our direct observation at a crucial moment. But here's the kicker. Loeb calculated that given its speed, 3I Atlas would have first entered the outer edges of our solar system about 8,000 years ago. The thing is, that's almost exactly the same time that humans on Earth first developed writing and began to formally record their own history. He doesn't say what that timing might mean, but the implication hangs heavy in the air. Was its arrival timed? Did it wait until it knew someone was home and was advanced enough to leave a record? While most experts are quick to dismiss these ideas, they can't explain everything. They note that key signatures for a normal comet, like the gases cyanogen or diatomic carbon, are still missing from Atlas's tail. The book is far from closed on what this thing truly is. While the world sees a comet, some see a threat hiding in plain sight, secrets buried in black budgets.
So, we have a statistical impossibility on a grand tour of our solar system, conveniently hiding behind the Sun at its most interesting point. It sounds like a perfect coincidence, right? But what if it's not a coincidence at all? What if it's an opportunity? This is where the story takes a sharp turn, from scientific mystery into something much darker. The official narrative is that NASA and other space agencies are just as baffled as we are. But there's a growing belief among some researchers that the public-facing NASA is just one part of the story. They whisper about a shadow space program, a secret network of projects funded by black budgets, with technology decades ahead of what we see on the news.
Think about it. We're told that analyzing this data required a partnership with a public company like Google. But is it really believable that the United States military-industrial complex, which has spent trillions on secret aircraft and spy satellites, doesn't have its own, more powerful AI hidden away from public view? Some insiders suggest the Google AI story is a brilliant piece of misdirection. The real analysis is happening deep underground, in facilities like Area 51 or Pine Gap, where recovered non-human technology is rumored to be stored. These theories claim that Oumuamua wasn't a surprise. It was an asset they had been tracking for years as it entered the system. Its strange acceleration wasn't a mystery. It was a maneuver they recognized.
And the conveniently timed arrival of Atlas? It's the perfect excuse. While the world's public telescopes are blinded by the Sun, who's to say a secret fleet of reconnaissance craft isn't being launched from hidden bases on the dark side of the Moon to get a closer look? It sounds like science fiction, but for decades there have been credible reports from astronauts and military personnel about strange sightings and phenomena that were immediately classified. They talk about a breakaway civilization that has been secretly exploring the solar system for over half a century. If such a group exists, then Oumuamua and Atlas aren't just visitors. They're either rivals or they're potential partners. The question is no longer just, what are they? But, what do our own leaders already know? A cure for humanity's problems.
Let's assume for a second that the whispers are true, that a powerful group within the world's governments knows exactly what these objects are. Why the secrecy? Why not tell the world? The answer, according to those who believe in a cover-up, is brutally simple. Power. Imagine being the first nation to successfully make contact and establish a relationship with an interstellar civilization. The technological prize would be the greatest in human history. We're talking about technologies that could solve every problem on Earth. Limitless clean energy, cures for all diseases, faster than light travel. The country that gets its hands on that technology wouldn't just be a superpower. It would essentially own the future of the human race. This is a prize no nation would ever share. The race for first contact would be the most high-stakes competition ever, making the Cold War's space race look like a friendly game of catch. Think about the stakes. This isn't about planting a flag on the moon. It's about securing a permanent, unchallengeable advantage over every other nation on Earth. The secrecy, then, becomes the most important weapon. If you knew a technological jackpot was flying through the solar system, the last thing you would do is announce it to your rivals. You would work in the shadows, using your most advanced hidden assets to make your move while publicly dismissing it all as a natural phenomenon. But it's not just about greed. There's another, more unsettling reason for the silence: fear. The authorities might genuinely believe that the revelation of intelligent, non-human visitors would cause society to collapse. It's funny when you think about it, we all watch movies about aliens, but what would actually happen? Global markets could crash in an instant. Long-standing religions, which place humanity at the center of creation, could be thrown into chaos, their foundations crumbling overnight. This isn't just speculation. The famous Brookings report, commissioned by NASA all the way back in 1960, actually studied this exact possibility. It concluded that discovering alien life could have disruptive effects on society, especially for cultures that weren't prepared for their worldview to be shattered. So, is the government trying to protect us or control us? The truth might be even more complicated. The deepest fear may not be what revealing the truth would do to us, but what making contact would do to them. What if the dark forest is real? Making contact could be a fatal mistake, painting a target on our back for a hostile civilization we know nothing about. The secrecy might be a desperate attempt to observe and learn, to figure out if these visitors are traitors or predators before rolling the dice for all of humanity. While the world sees a comet, some see a threat hiding in plain sight. More than just visitors? So, here we are. We have two visitors from the void and two wildly different stories. On one hand, you have 3i Atlas, a 7-mile-wide giant on a statistically impossible grand tour of our solar system, a path so precise that a powerful AI flagged it as potentially designed. On the other hand, you have the ghost of Oumuamua, a bizarrely shaped, metallic-looking object that accelerated without any reason, behaving more like a piece of technology than a rock. One looks like a comet but acts like a probe. The other didn't look like a comet and didn't act like one either. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? When things like this happen, we're told to trust the simplest explanation, that it's all just a coincidence. But what if it's not? The thing is, these aren't small details we're talking about. A 1 in 20,000 trajectory isn't just a lucky shot. It's a cosmic bullseye. An object accelerating with no visible engine isn't just an oddity, it's a violation of what we thought we knew. Are we really supposed to believe that the first two interstellar objects we get a good look at are both record-breaking freaks of nature? Is it possible we are missing a key detail in all of this? Let's zoom out for a second. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars, and there are maybe 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. The scale is impossible for our minds to truly grasp. Online, people try to make sense of it with scales. If our sun was a grain of sand, the nearest star would be 4 miles away. Our entire galaxy would be a city the size of North America. To think that in all of that vastness, we are the only ones to develop technology is, statistically speaking, pretty arrogant. The theories online are getting wilder. Some believe these objects aren't just probes, but are part of a network of lurkers, ancient probes that have been watching solar systems for millions of years, waiting for life to emerge. Others point to the WOW signal of 1977 or the strange dimming of Tabby's star as other pieces of the puzzle, suggesting we aren't just seeing visitors now. We've been seeing signs for decades and just didn't know how to connect them. Could Oumuamua have been a piece of discarded technology? A derelict craft tumbling through space? Was Atlas sent to follow up on a signal we sent out decades ago, like the Arecibo message? The thing is, if this is all true, what does it mean? Does it all happen overnight? Or is this a slow process of observation from a distance? Are we just a science experiment in a cosmic petri dish? We have to wonder if we're seeing the pattern right in front of us, but are too afraid to accept what it implies. Is it crazier to believe in a one-in-a-million cosmic coincidence or in a deliberate, hidden plan? Let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more answers to the universe's biggest mysteries.